All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean. I hope everyone is doing well. We're gonna try and do a little live stream here. And oh, I'm on the wrong. There we go. Let's go over there. Oh, I just had dinner and it was fantabulous. Um, I just did an interview with Peterson Rodriguez of oh, I forgot the name of his company. Let me get it real quick. D20 Culture, I believe is what he calls it. Wow, what a nice guy, man. I'm telling you. D20 Culture, yeah. So he has a YouTube channel, D20 Culture. It's in Spanish. He's got one video posted where they were playing a game. But his company is producing Justice League Unlimited, and they're going to be on GameFound July 21st. So go support it if you can. I guess that would be a really nice thing to do. I'm super excited about it. I'm a huge Supers fan, and so it led me to tonight to let's talk about Super RPGs. So I should have a link here real soon. I should get an email from Discord or from saying I'm live. I think I'm live. It says I'm live. Nobody's watching right now, but that's fine. What is that? That's my option to. And so new layout. What can we do? We can do. We're just playing with stuff. Cancel. Manage. Okay, that's all the same stuff. Show comments on page. Size, regular, wide, font will go medium because I'm blind. Let's see here. And where is the link? I always forget how to do this because I don't do it nearly enough. Oh, view on YouTube. There we go. I can get it there. All right, let me do that. And let's go share, go copy. We're going to end that. We're going to go on Discord. Control B. All right, now I got to unfortunately go to all these other places. Oops, got a typo here. Mr. Mean Speaks is live. Let's talk about supers. Let's talk about supers. What do you guys think? I love supers. All right, so we got that. Now we can close that out, and then we can go here, and we can go to socials, and we can to Blue Sky. We can post. Boop. Oh. Post. All right, and then we can go to MeWe because we got to post in MeWe. MeWe, I don't know if it's a dying platform. I don't know. What do you guys think? But I don't know. I wanted to see after G Plus died, MeWe was created, and I like MeWe. I mean, I'm tired of getting, super hot 22-year-olds wanting to be my friend. They seem to be inundated with that. I spend more time, blocking those. I just report them as spam for sexual content, and hopefully their accounts get shut down because it's just there's no space for that shit. We don't need that. I'm almost a 60-year-old male. What does a 25-year-old chick want seeing me besides a paycheck? And I'm happily married on top of that, so I don't really give a damn. So I just mark them as scammers or sexual solicitation, and I'll leave it at that. And let we deal with it. I'm just posting here, so bear with me. I can't see the chats now while I post all of this. But I want to make sure. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to Facebook. Not a big Facebook guy, but you know, you got to play the game. Oh, my friend graduated. Yay, good for her. Bella. She was a PCA for my son Norby, and she was super awesome, super nice. And she's super cool people. She's good people. So I like her. I'm just posting this everywhere. So bear with me because I can't see the live stream right now. So I'm not trying to be rude. Let's go to groups. Groups. And Minimalist RPG. There's a couple YouTube groups that I like. Post. The RPG Forward Observer. I know I have a problem with that site for some reason. It doesn't like it when I just do a URL. I don't know why. But you know, we're gonna post where we can. And Masters and Storytellers, another good Facebook group. Just have to do all the. I wish there was a. Well, there is, but I don't know. I don't want to link my StreamYard's account to my Facebook account. I could stream directly to Facebook, but it's not my jam, as the old saying goes. But I hope everyone's doing well this nice Sunday night. Back to work tomorrow. I'm on call this week for my job, so that sucks, but it is what it is. I get a half a day off later in the week, so we're going to go here. We're almost done, guys. I'm sorry. I know this isn't exactly exciting to watch, but you know, we got to do what we got to do. We have to get the word out. World of Supers, you know, that's definitely one to post on. Star Anvil Studio, they're kind of Supers 2 in the future, and they're doing Phase World. Super excited about that. Marvel Multiverse, definitely want to post there. If you guys know any other good superhero Facebook page. All right, so posted that there, go away. Let's see, is there anything else? Castles and Crusades is always a fun one, but this is more superheroes, so we're not Mutants and Masterminds. Oh, we got to go there. Got to post to the Mutants and Masterminds. In fact, I have my Discord game next Saturday. I'm super excited. They've kind of got hints about who the main bad guy is, but they're putting the pieces together. I think they've kind of figured it out, but let's see. I'm going to have to turn my Discord off. I don't want it going in there. I'm just trying to look and make sure. Oh, I think we got everything there, so we can close Facebook. Let's see. No post yet. Let's see what. We're gonna turn this off. We're gonna turn Discord off for right now. It says I'm streaming. 2 people are watching. Hey, if you're watching, pop a comment in and say hi. Let me know who you are, so I can give you a shout out. I wanted to talk superhero RPGs. And well, I kind of need you guys to do that. So I got a stack over here. Let's see if I can get my camera to show just a few RPGs, superhero RPGs. That's just the ones I could quickly grab off the shelf. They're in no particular order, but I got to, show them up. So yeah, if you're in the chat, it says there's 2 of you in there. So pop in and say hi. I got it posted everywhere, I think, so we should be good. Says I'm streaming. You are live. All right. So we give it a couple minutes before we dig into it. I said I was going to go live at 7:15, and it was more like closer to 7:20. So, and then of course it took a couple of minutes to post everywhere. So we'll do that. I hope everyone is doing well. Is there a way to turn this light on? Oh yeah, look at that. It helps a little bit. Mark. Hi, Mark. .866. Suede's Heroes. Yeah, Savage Worlds. Necessary Evil. I don't know if you've checked that one out. I have it up there on the shelf. It is right there. Necessary Evil. That's the latest box set using the new Swex or Savage World. No, not Explorer. Suede. Yeah, Adventure Engine. Sentinel RPG. I do not own Sentinel. I grabbed a bunch of RPGs. Sentinel, they had 2 versions. I was it Fate and D20? I know they had a D20 version. I don't remember what the other version was. They had 2 sets come out, and I don't remember what they were. There's 6 people watching. Hey, if you're in the chat, pop in and say hi. Let Mr. Mean give you a shout out. I also have a Discord where we talk about superhero, or we talk about all RPGs. Looking to game mechanic. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I haven't found the perfect game yet, but there, if there was a perfect game, it just depends on who it's, what your idea of a perfect game is. I have a love-hate with D20 games, only because I think D&D 5th edition kind of ruined that for me. Synth Weasel, JW, awesome name. Always on the hunt for the Supers RPG that works for me. Man, well, you're in for a treat there, Synth Weasel, because I got about, I don't know how many here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I got 16 different games that I just grabbed off the shelf real quick. So, maybe we'll find one that you like. I got a couple here, even some classics. Like if you ever played Super World, this is, I got to give a shout out to my buddy, Brian. He gave this to me when I moved from California to Arizona close to 15, 20 years ago. Bob Vecna. It is the Hand of Vecna. Or is he the head of Vecna? I don't know. Bob, how you doing, sir? Yeah, well, I'm going to hopefully give you some thoughts here, Super Weasel. This is Chaosium's version. It was supported by, it even has the Gamma logo. That tells you how old it is, because they don't do that anymore. And I got a couple, I forgot I had these. I picked up a couple of these. Yeah, there's the companion. So let me see. Man, it's been years since I popped this open, and they're so old the glue is giving way. So I have to be careful with them. So there was the Game Masters book for Super World. And these are all just softback. But look at that. It's cool art, man. That's cool art on the back. Then there was the Superheroes book, the Superpowers book, Let's see, get it in camera there, you big dummy. And then, of course, a small stack of character sheets. And this was a percentage based system. So if you played Call of Cthulhu, you knew this system. It was just with superpowers. And this game holds up till today. In fact, you could probably play this with Mythic or Mithras. And we'll get to that because Mithras kind of has its own superhero called Destin, which is really cool. So, and it had a number of reference charts in it and stuff, like pamphlets that had all kinds of stuff in here, and like a minion pamphlet. And oh wow, it still has the. This is back in the days of boxed sets. It had a customer survey card that you could fill out. Doing up Mother's Day for Mrs. V. Yeah, same here. I cooked breakfast, or not breakfast. I made Philly cheesesteaks for lunch on the Blackstone. It was super windy, but they came out okay. A little salty, my wife said, but I think I used a little too much Worcestershire sauce. But lots of onion, lots of provolone cheese, and the kid loved it. We ate them; they were good. Just a tad bit too salty, but I ran out of water in my squirt bottle, and that stuff cooks so fast. Champions, yeah, Champions is. Oh, that's the one I didn't grab. Mark, Champions is down there. Yeah, I got the 6th edition, both books, but I got 2 companions for Superworld. I got the companion, and then I got the Trouble for Havoc, which was a Champions and Superworld and Village and Vigilantes, and it even includes it's in there, role playing for people who love role playing games, the magazine for adventure role playing gamers. Different Worlds was a zine that was out. There's an advertisement in there, so these are great. I should go back and reread these and check them out. But that's Super World with some supplements. I forgot I had the supplements. I was like, man, that box is awful heavy. Why is it so heavy? And it's because it had 2 supplements in it. So Steve Perrin, a great in the gaming system, in the gaming world, Chaosium. So yeah, a phenomenal game right there. I don't have any place to put this stuff, so I'm going to create a stack over here. Let's see. We mentioned Champions. I was never a huge Champions fan. Wasn't my jam. I didn't like the math, and I didn't like I'm not a big D6 fan. So Champions just wasn't. It never grabbed me. Again, I see a couple new people jumped into the stream. So if you're in, say hi. Bob Vecna, Synth Weasel, and Mark. Good times. Yeah. I don't know if that's Mark 866 from Discord or not. Mark, I don't know. Another blast from the past, and this is the original. This is not a bow down to peer pressure from MTV. Aeon Trinity. This is the original version that came in this wacky plastic vinyl cover, and it was spiral bound. And this is the way the book came. If you origin, and this was in the future with superpowers and kind of like a cyberpunk dystopian corporate owned. You could play the boys in this. To be honest, you kind of could, but it's set kind of way in the future. So yeah. But this is the original before they lost the lawsuit to MTV, because MTV had a animated show called Aeon, and so they had to put a sticker on the front that said Trinity, and then they did a second edition, which was a hardback regular book. But I always dug this. I thought this was really cool, so I had to include it. So I don't know. Did anybody ever play this? I got to play it a couple times. I really liked it. It was a D10 dice pool system. It was a lot of fun, kind of similar to Werewolf or Vampire. It was made by White Wolf Games. Back then, they still held the license for Vampire and Werewolf and all those fun games. So $30 back in the day. But this is a hard vinyl plastic. This thing will damn near stop a bullet. Yeah, it was, I just thought it was a neat design, and it's held up. It's stand the test of time. So I don't know if anybody remembers Aeon Trinity. It was called Aeon, and then in the back, it had an ad for their second book, which was called Aberrant, which was kind of like the bad guys or not the bad guys. If you were on the Aberrant side, these were the bad guys, the Aeon Trinity group. So it kind of depended. So yeah, anybody remember Aeon or Trinity? If you have it, if you have this for, they actually lost the lawsuit to MTV, and they had to take all of these books that were in their warehouse before they could sell them. Anything that was on the shelf that they hadn't, or anything that was in distribution but wasn't officially sold, they were supposed to put a sticker on it that said Trinity in white letters, and it was literally a sticker. So if you bought it and it said Trinity, but it was in this black plastic cover, you could probably peel that sticker off and it would still say Aeon. So that's all they did was put a sticker on it, which I thought was kind of funny. I'm going to save that one for later. Let's see here. Where's the one I want? Well, there's one. Oh my God, they're so heavy. Books are heavy, kids. Don't let anybody lie to you. One of my all-time favorites. That's another blast. Yeah, we talked about it, so I might as well mention it. We'll jump to this one. Destined. This uses the design mechanisms. Destined is a complete role-playing game. All you need is some friends, dice, and your imagination. So this uses the same system as Mythras. So your Mythras book, the Book of Magic or Book of Psionics, or there was another source book that came out for Mythras Fantasy. It was fully compatible. Bob Vecna never got it to the oh, Bob, you should get it to the table, buddy. It's a good game. It's a good game. Hey, if you're new in here, you just tuned in, pop into the chat there and say hi so I can give you a shout out. Destined, this is another. This one, I think, I never got to play this, but I did read this pretty good because I'm a big fan of percentage-based systems. And this is very deep, in-depth character creation, which I like. It's a percentage-based system, and this suited itself, from the way I read it, suited itself to more like a Batman style, low-powered superheroes. But it's points-based system. You get an X amount of points, and you build your character. And the art in here is it might not be for everybody. A lot of it is like Silver Age comic book style, black and white. I don't think there's a whole lot of color, if I remember. I think it's all black and white with splashes of red. Yeah, it's all black and white art. But you could do a really gritty street level. I mean, you could play like a Superman or whatever, but it's going to take a lot of points and a lot of work. But some of the art was banging. I mean, really good art. So if you don't have this one, check it out. It's a good one. Destined, a percentage-based system. The book has that. It's like kind of textured, and it almost feels like plastic, like there's a rubber coating. I don't know what they call it. If you know, put it down in the notes there and let me know. But yeah, it's a cool cover, and even kind of, you get like this Hulk type dude, and then you've got like almost like a Batman guy or a Moon Knight kind of guy. So yeah, this is one I wouldn't mind getting to the table. I don't think I have any aspirations of GMing this, but I would love to give it a try. I'd love to play it. I think it would be pretty cool. In fact, I interviewed one of the guys that had something to do with this book. Was it Mike Larimore? I think it was. He might have been the artist. I don't remember. Somebody I dealt with. I think it was Mike Larimore. I think he was the guy who had a hand in this. Yeah. So yeah, cool game. I don't know if anyone's ever played it or tried it, but let me know. Let me know in the comments there. So, let's go with one that I don't think a lot of people may know about. It was back in the D20 Glut. It was from TriStat, same guys that made Big Eyes, Small Mouth. He went through a lot of different drama in his day. The designer, I think it was Jeff McIntosh. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to see if there's a date in here. 2004 is the forward. The Authority comic book. This was a role-playing game based off The Authority. The Authority was kind of cool. They were very edgy. the two guys, like they're like the Superman guy, which is this guy in the background, and then this guy were actually lovers. They were gay and they were lovers, which was weird. And this had a number of crossovers. Matt Forback was involved. Forback, John Chambers, Jesse Scoble, and John Sneed. So there's a lot of good people behind this. It just never got any traction, as far as I'm aware of. I don't know. I don't even know if my buddy Brian has this one. He might, because he was a big Authority fan. He liked the Authority. Apollo was his name. He was the Sun King, and he was like this world's version of Superman. He was uber strong and everything. I'm just trying to see the Engineer. And this had a crossover with a couple other wild cards and some other stuff. Wildcats, Midnighter, which was basically more like a Batman style guy. I'm not quite sure if he had powers. Yeah, he's only a scale of 3 on the powers, whereas Apollo was scale 9, almost 10 on the powers. So he was, like their version of Superman. So yeah, the Authority. This is a cool one. It had all the art. It was licensed, so they used all the art from the comic books. So you had a lot of pages that were just copied right out of the comics and put into here. I never got to play this. I wanted to, but I just never got a chance to get it to the table or a group that wanted to play it. And then I think shortly after Mutants and Masterminds came out, and we were all gonzo for Mutants and Masterminds because it was an easy D20 system and we were all playing D20 games. So, but yeah, Guardians of Order, Wildstorm universe, which was some of these characters tied in with the characters in Wildstorm. So I don't know, is that one you guys know of? Have you heard of this? Do you have it? Have you played it? Did you get to play it? If so, what did you think? Because I'd be curious. Yes, Matt Forback has done some work for the latest, which will be. Well, you know what? Let's segue into that right now. Oh, that's the Avengers expansion. Oops, I meant to grab the core book. I grabbed the Avengers expansion. But let's see if Matt Forback is given credit in here. Let's see. Yep. Lead writer, Matt Forback. No, so this is the Avengers expansion. So it's got all the Avengers in here. Oh, you didn't know about the Wildstorm connection, Bob? Yeah. It was the Authority was actually officially approved, Wildstorm universe. Guardians of Order was the guys that made the Tristat system. They also did Big Eye Small Mouth D20, which was kind of an anime fantasy. You could play, Cat Girls or whatever, or Robots Bubblegum Crisis, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, but this was officially licensed and approved by Wildstorm. So yeah, so Marvel Multiverse 616. I've yet to play this. I have read it. I do have the dice. I have the official 616 dice. This is one I'd like to get to the table. But I don't know. One of my biggest players, Mark, I don't think he's into Marvel, or he's not a big specific dice. Although you don't have to use the Marvel 616 dice, you can use regular D6, and just two have to be one color and one has to be another color. So, but yeah, have you guys tried this Batman Gotham City Chronicles RPG box set Skyline? Yes, Mark, I have the PDFs. I do not have the books. They were just at the time they were out of my price range. And right now they're out of my price range because I have to get my backyard renovated. My son is handicapped and he has some mobility issues, and the backyard, the walkway in between my house and the garage is a nightmare. It's uneven. I mean, fuck, I'm a fully capable human being and I trip and stumble all the time. Plus water pools, and I live in the Great White North. So in the wintertime, we have much snow, and everybody has slipped at least once. And I'm at the age that if I slip and land wrong, I'm going to break a hip. And well, that's no fun for anybody. So yeah. But I did get to play Gotham City Chronicles, and I did like it. I did not like the character creation process. It was a little wonky for me. And the game seemed to suit itself better to like that noir, that Batman, style. But I didn't mind the game. The mechanics were okay. It just didn't grab me as a superheroes game. Chock full of, yes, beautiful read. The books, like I said, I don't have the physical. We're out of warranty. Yeah, Bob, we sure are, brother. Out of warranty. That's pretty funny. Um, but yeah, Mark, what a beautiful read and gorgeous. At least the PDFs. I'm sure the books are just as nice as the PDF. And I would love to get copies of them, but they're financially out of my range because they're going for stupid prices on like Noble Knight and eBay and everything, and I'm just not paying that price. I was looking one of my minis. So I have my own Discord for those that don't know, and it's Mr. Mean Speaks Discord. Can relate, my friend. Yeah. Um, and what was I going with that? Something on my Discord. We call ourselves meanies, by the way. So it's the Mr. Mean Speaks and the meanie horde. And let's see, did play in a short 2 to 3 session of the Marvel RPG, liked it, but really too short to get a good feel, honestly. Good to know, Sent. I think I'm going to run it on my. That's where I was going. My Discord. I have a Discord. I'll put a link in the chat there for those that aren't on the Discord. But yeah, we play all kinds of games on the Discord. Right now, I'm running Mutants and Masterminds, and it's still, we're just going to run 4 or 5 more, maybe 3 to 5 more sessions. It just depends on how far the characters get. My time is very strict and tough. With my son, I have an autistic. My son is 9, and he's autistic. He's on the spectrum. He's high functioning, but he has very emotional and physical disabilities. So he takes a lot of my time with therapy and everything that he has to go. And he goes to therapy 5 days a week. So on the weekend, I have so much I have to do that I can't get done during the week. It has to be done on the weekend. And on top of that, I run a full-time game. I play in a full-time game. So, that's half my day eaten up right there. But luckily those games are on the same day. And then I have an off Saturday game, which right now we're playing Godsend Agenda, which is awesome. I'm having a blast in that one. We had a lot of fun last night. So yeah, pretty busy guy. But yeah, this is one I want to get to the table and I want to run it. My beef with games like this is I want to play my own superhero. I don't want to play Batman. I don't want to play Superman. I don't want to play Wolverine. I don't want to play the Incredible Hulk. I want to play my hero. But that being said, out of all the Marvel games that I have or have had, I like how this one does it with the power levels, I believe, are is it 1 through 6? I believe, with 1 being normal humans and 6 being like gods, or like the Uber Pantheon, like the Watcher and all of those guys. Like I think the Hulk is like power level 4, if I remember correctly. I bought this just to have it in my collection, the Avengers book, and I haven't really looked at it, so I apologize if I'm a little distracted. Yeah, like Wasp is power level 4, and I'm like, Vision is only power level 3, and I'm like, what? Void, I don't even know who Void is. Ultron is a 4. Captain America or U.S. Agent is a 3. Tony Stark is a 2. I'm just trying to see. Thor is a 5. Yeah, Terminus is a 5. He's a badass. Super Giant, never heard of her. Swordsman is a 3. Star Fox 3. Stinger. So there's about Sif is a 4. She's an Asgardian god. Shang-Chi is a 5. Okay. Shroud is a 4. Sentry is a 6. And I think 6 is the highest it goes. So Sentry is Marvel's version of Superman. Or if you're old and you remember Hyperion, he was kind of Superman as well, but he kind of faded into obscurity. I don't know what happened with Hyperion. But anyway, I think the recommended power level for Marvel is 3 to 4 or 2 to 3. If you want to make your own hero, unless you're playing here. But the nice thing is you can tell all your players, okay, choose. If you don't want to make your own hero, choose a hero of level 3, of level 3, and then you could play that hero. So you could play Destroyer, which here Destroyer looks like a female, which I did not thought Destroyer was a male. But anyway, Man, there's some heroes in there I haven't heard of. I'm just saying. So the Captain America, Bucky Barnes, Bruce Banner is a 1 because he's just a human scientist. Black Widow with the symbiote is a 4. You can change things. Daredevil is a hot topic. Really? Black Panther T'Challa is a 5. Black Swan, never heard of her. Black Panther Shuri, that was his his sister. Black Knight is a 4. So anyway, the whole point was you could vaguely remember Black Dwarf, Ares, God of War, Archon. The Absorbing Man is a 4. 3D Man, he never made it big. But anyway, so the point is you could say everybody choose a power level 3 character, and then everybody's on the same scope, or 2 or 3. But yeah, Marvel superheroes. I want to get it to the table. I have the cool dice. When you join the Discord, 99% of the time we do theater of the mind. We use Discord and we roll real dice because I'm a grognard, and the VTTs are nice, and I love Foundry. I love Alchemy. The new Matt Colville for Draw Steel one on Steam looks amazing. I work in software and hardware in the PC industry all day long. I don't want to come home and fight with computers. And so I just have not taken the time to learn enough about Foundry to do it justice, except for Pathfinder. I thought the Pathfinder implementation for 2nd edition was phenomenal. And I ran a short campaign in Pathfinder and it was great. So anyway, we do theater of the mind. We roll real dice and we tell stories. But yeah, Marvel role-playing, Marvel multiverse role-playing game. And this is I do have all of the books back there, but this is the correct. In fact, they're right there. There's 4 current hardbacks. I think there might be a 5th one come out, but I have up to the 4 that I have. So speaking of Marvel, we're going to stay on the Marvel track, and I'm going to go way back in the archives. In fact, I'm going to try and see if I can find a date, because this one has been out for a while, and I'll bet you some of you have never heard of this one. Let me see if there's a date on this. I may have to open it. Oh, 1998. So we're in 2020, what is it, 2026, right? We're in 2026. So this is a 28-year-old game. So this is older than some of you, maybe. Oh man, this thing. Marvel superheroic adventure game that uses the Saga deck. So it was a deck of cards. And it's like your action figures that you can buy, and it opens up. And this, I think I opened it from the bottom. The top was never opened. Yeah, it was. Look at that. I hope I'm not missing. I must be missing the cards. I have the cards. I just don't know where they are. But yeah, so you had the game book. These were all perfect bound. I mean, look how old it is. It's got dust on it. Jeez. And that was the character sheet on the back. It was the back of the book. You could photocopy that. In fact, they even tell you to photocopy. It's black and white, but it had all the official art. I even have a blank printed character sheet that I must have photocopied while I was at work. That's funny. Throw that away. We don't need that anymore. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wow. This is one of my heroes. Well, to tell you, so those of you that may know, I typically, when I play a superhero game, I play a character called Seismic, and he has seismic powers, like a seismic blast. Here's my character that I made back in 1998. I was in here. He's still in here. And that's my handwriting on the side here. And that's my art. I wanted to be a comic book artist when I was younger, believe it or not. So that was my costume for Seismic. While working at an experimental seismic energy emitter with his partner and girlfriend, Dr. Ken Gale realized that something had gone terribly wrong with the project. The emitter surpassed all expectations of the pair of scientists, as well as the safety margin built into the machine. Ken was helpless to stop the device as it burned itself out in an overload of raw seismic energy, bathing him and the lab in the powerful energy and in the powerful energy waves. The lab was destroyed, costing millions of dollars of equipment and the lives of Ken's girlfriend and a local youth who had been delivering a pizza to the lab at the time. And that's while it's a tragedy, anybody would die, or game or not. I'm a huge pizza fan. I'm a pizza connoisseur, so I had to throw that in there. Discovering his new ability shortly after being released from the hospital, Ken Gale dedicated his life and his newfound seismic power to the betterment of society as Seismic. Oh, man. Calling, repentant, personality, quiet and reserved, anything but Mr. Mean. Yeah, that's my original. That's where Seismic originated from. And I had, my strength was 6C. I had 2 edge. I had 11B for agility, which is red. Intellect was 8C. Hand size was 4 cards. And willpower was 7C, and the cards had color. I still have those cards. I just don't know where they physically are at. They came out with one. Oh, man, I had a bunch in here. Oh, I printed off. Oh, somebody. This is back in the days of G+. Someone printed a whole bunch of heroes or created them. Wow, I didn't know I had this. This is going back. So I have a bunch of the characters that people did. Oh, these were bonuses and stuff. True Believer. This was like people had done up like write-ups and stuff. This was like shortcuts to the rules and stuff. So you could give out. Wow, stepping into yes, Dragonlance 5th Age used the Saga deck back in the day. It is back there. These were sitting up there. So, yeah, wow. I wait till I tell my buddy Bry about that. So you had the roster book, and it had all the characters in it. You could see their stats up here, and Iron Man, and it's all Marvel art. So this is another one I wouldn't mind playing again. And giving it a go. And then the first source book they I think it was the only source book they came out with was the X-Men roster book. And this also came in a box as well as that. But unfortunately that box got lost due to the, age of time. And yeah, the art in here is, let me find a good one. Sentinels. Sentinels are tough. Hey, there's old Wolverine, old Blue Eyes. Yeah. So, wow, what a blast from the past. I'm glad I opened that because actually, no, this didn't come in a box. It was sold just like this, I think. Yeah, because it's got the price $17.95. Yeah, $17.95. Wow. TSR. This was done by what would eventually become WotC. TSR. Tactical Simulation. What did TSR stand for? I thought it was Tactical Simulation. I don't remember what the R stood for. Getting old, guys. Getting old. Sorry, I keep turning away from the microphone. Wow. What a blast from the past. I have to find the Saga cards now because I have the Marvel cards. I just don't know where they are. They should be in a box somewhere. I know the Saga deck is in there. But yeah, so anybody ever play this one? So we're down to 4 people in the chat there, but anybody ever play Marvel Superheroes Adventure Game, the Saga system? Free comics. Join the mighty Marvel mayhem. Free comics. Details inside. I don't have that, so it's not. Evidently, you could get free. It's clobbering time. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I got to find the cards now. It's going to drive me nuts until I find them. So that would lead to, this is the 4th edition of Mutants and Masterminds. This is the playtest. As you can see, I've got it all bookmarked and everything. This is the last version they put out before the Kickstarter ended. It's full color art. It's really well done. It's not everything. It's not a complete game, but it's got some really good art in it. Oops, I just lost my page marker. And this is what we're playing every other Saturday. So I don't know, did you back the Kickstarter? If you're a superhero fan, hopefully you did. This I gotta say, so far we're having fun with it. They've cleaned up the rules, tightened them up a little bit, and like I said, it's pretty solid. I can't wait till the full blown thing comes out. Tactical Studios, Tactical Studios rules. It sounds about right. And it was, but didn't TSR stand for something else before it became, or before it was bought out by TSR? Was it always T? Man, we're going back. Whew. But speaking of mutants and masterminds, there was also, I looked it up. Thank you, Mark. DC Adventures, Heroes and Villains, Volume 1. Now, they came out with 3. The 3rd volume was super low production, and it is super hard to find, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but I have volumes 1 and 2. So this uses the Mutants and Masterminds rule, but for a short time, they had a license for DC. So, I mean, we got Shazam, man. Look, I mean, and the art, it's all official DC art. And it's even, Green Ronin got the license for a short time. It's DC Comics. Yeah, I tried. It's on the list here, Vecna. I tried running it as a grognard, and I just can't handle the bad math and the mechanics. They were horrible. Now, I will say Palladium's Fantasy is a rock solid game. It still works to this day. If you want to play a well supported with tons of splat books, the Rifter magazine, Palladium Fantasy to me is their banger. Rifts is great, but I'll play Savage Worlds Rifts any day. I won't touch regular Rifts. It's just an exercise in futility as far as I'm concerned. That's just me. It was, yeah, exactly. So was Rifts. I mean, I thought Rifts was the bee's knees, man. I loved Rifts, but coming back to it now in my later years and reading the books and trying to, oh man, I was out in the sun today and I was outside working in the yard and I can see where my sunglasses, I'm all red. I got a little sunburn. In fact, it actually feels hot. That's funny. Anyway, squirrel, man. The brain is gone. But yeah, it'll always hold a soft spot in my heart, Heroes Unlimited, because it was an early superheroes game and it was phenomenal. It was one of my favorites. But trying to go back and play it now, it just hurts. The math is horrible. Characters are way overpowered, and especially if you use the random character generation. I ran a game for 5 guys, and it was painful. Just recently, end of last year, and it was painful because some of the players had just god awful powers, and other players had the worst. Are crazy superpowers, and it was horrible. It was painful, but it was fun to go back and try that game. But yeah, DC Adventures using the Mutants and Masterminds. These are probably kind of hard to get. Mine are in pristine condition too, which I've got volume 1 and volume 2. I believe this is volume 1. Yeah, this is volume 1, and I have volume 2 on the shelf. Volume 3 I couldn't get a hold of, and it may be available, but when I looked last a while ago, it was stupid expensive. So if you like Mutants and Masterminds and you want to play in the DC universe, you can. It's out there, and I'm sure if you search enough torrent sites, you probably find PDFs. Again, we got 6 people in the chat. Pop in and say hi. Bob Beckna, Mark, Synthweasel, thank you guys for chatting with me. What did Synthweasel say? Oh, that was awesome. I assume you're talking about the Saga system. Yeah, man. Too many good games, guys. Here's another one that's kind of a soft spot for me, although I never got to play it. But it was a weird superhero, but it's kind of fantasy, and they did a redo of it, which is Exalted Essence. And this is it's now, I forgot the name of the company now. It's Onyx Press. Yeah, Onyx Path Publishing, but they are the old guys behind White Wolf. Some of them, I know, they bought out, sold out to White Wolf. Got sold to the guys that own uh, Eve, the video game. There's a foreign company that owns Eve, and then that they sold it to Onyx Path, or they split off and something like that. It's convoluted, but anyway, Exalted was like way before the World of Darkness, and these are basically superheroes. So that's why I included it. It's a dice pool system, D10s. It's pretty good. The art in here is beautiful. I mean, the Exalted book. I don't know if this got much traction. I haven't heard or seen anything. I haven't seen any live plays on YouTube. If somebody knows, put a link in the doobly doo, and I'll down there in the comments, and I'll go check it out, because I have the original one that came with a CD and everything, and it was cool. I've since lost the CD. I don't know where it went. In fact, I may know where it is. Now that I think about it, I have an old box that has a bunch of CDs in it, and it might be in there. But anyway, the art in here is fantastic. The original game was good. Had a bunch of splat books and kind of really super like prehistoric, but before. So there was basically, in this world, there was a civilization that predated like the caveman and stuff, and then it fell. And before it, and this is a game set in that time in the World of Darkness universe. Before there were vampires and werewolves and everything, there was this exalted universe where the gods, where these people with powers were like gods. And so, yeah, solar exalted and all that stuff. So a bunch of cool stuff. So it wasn't big on my list. I just had it because I had the original book and I thought it was cool. And I went down to the cities and I saw that book, so I picked it up. And I thought, oh, wow, that's cool. Now, speaking of Matt Forbeck, I think Bob mentioned it. Was it Bob or Mark? Anybody got this in their collection? I have most, I think, if not all of the core books and the GM screen. Brave New World. This was a D6 dice pool system. This was before, I think this was right before Deadlands. And Matt Forbeck wrote this, and this actually is a set of novels as well. So it's really cool. The writing in here is phenomenal, because if you didn't know, Matt Forbeck is an author. He's a novelist. He writes superhero. He's written a number of Marvel superhero books, and he's written some. I think he even wrote one for what is it, Snake, for Solid Snake or whatever, the video game. I think he wrote one of those. What is neat about Brave New World is this is the Mutant Registration Act from Marvel gone south, more so than it did in the Marvel universe. There's a lot of conspiracies and things going on. I don't want to give any spoilers. What's funny is Matt Forbeck went on to do a lot of work with Pinnacle and Savage Worlds, but Hal Mangold was the editor on this, which I think is hilarious, because Hal Mangold is one of the guys behind Green Ronin, but he's also done some stuff for Savage Worlds as well. So yeah, let's see, what does it give? Does it give a year? 1999. So again, 26 years old. And is it 1999 or was it after that? I kind of feel like this is older. Pinnacle, no, 99, because it's got Pinnacle in it. Cool art there. So yeah, and there's a full comic in the front, and then it tells you about it. And it was done. Oh my God, you guys remember Netscape Navigator? AOL. So the book was written in the aspect of this was a web page that you were downloading information from and reading, like a BBS, or not a BBS, but a web page. And so there was the tabs, and you clicked on a tab and it would take you to different sections. So the first third of the book is all glossy paper with a bunch of different information. and then it goes right into character creation. Chapter 1, what you need to know, and then from there it goes into character creation. But what was cool about this was you had power suites. So you didn't have like a Superman type character. You had a character that could have super strength, but that's pretty much his powers all derived from super strength. You could have a speedster. You could have a healer. You could have a guy who could fly, but that's it. You could have a blaster, a guy who could shoot, laser beams out of his eyes or his hands. I always thought that was an iconic picture right there. This one, I always thought it was really cool. But you couldn't have multiples of powers. There was really no way to get anything like that. So, like the blaster, her power was blasting. That's what she had. And you were alphas, deltas, and omegas. And if you were an alpha, basically they had all been rounded up or killed. I don't want to destroy the plot too much, but if I remember correctly, omegas were like monsters, or just so evil it wasn't, and monstrously powerful. Alphas were like Superman, Green Lantern, those multiple powers, and then deltas were like the B string. They had like one power. So you had all kinds of powers. You had blaster, so all they could do was blast. You had a bouncer who could bounce. That was all he did. You didn't have, anything else. You could buy some advantages and quirks and stuff. So it was very limited in its power. The flyer could fly. That was it. They couldn't shoot blast. If they had a gun, they could shoot. The Goliath was super strong, and that was it, man. That was, and so you were kind of a one trick pony. And they had power suites, and you would buy your powers from that suite. So you would look into whatever if you were a blaster, there was a whole bunch of stuff under blaster. And as you gained experience, you could up those powers, but you were still, for all intents and purposes, a blaster, and you could be a shooter, a gun. Well, they called it a gunner, if I remember correctly. Scrapper was a guy who could fight and had some limited immunity, a healer. Yeah, it was cool. And like I said, a couple of books. So I don't know if anybody has this in their collection, but if you do, it's definitely a keeper. And the funny part is I had all of the books at one time because I was really big into this, and I sold them. I got into a tight spot and I sold everything. But I was living in Arizona, and they had a store called Bookman's, and it had two locations, had one on the west side, one on the east side. And I went back there one day, and they had almost all the books, and so I bought them. And some of the books will have and I know they came from Bookman's because they would write up here like $16. So like this retailed for $29.99 or $30. It looks like, yeah, $30. So they would sell it for 15 or 20, and they would give you, if they sold it for 20, they would give you 5. You'd get a third of the value, So, but anyway, I was able to replace all of these, so super happy about that. This is a great game. It's a good read. I don't know how well it plays nowadays because we're in a gaming renaissance where we have so many choices for games, and I don't want to say there are better games, but to be honest, there's better games. This was a D6 dice pool system. And I don't even remember the mechanics. It's been so long. I just realized I still have a bookmark in here. Making your own power packages. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, super cool game. Like I said, I don't know if anybody has this in their collection. If you've played it, let me know what you think. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Speaking of Heroes Unlimited, there was a company that was an offshoot that licensed Cosmic Enforcers from Palladium, and they were called Myrmidon Press. And they were a split off from Palladium. They got a license to do it, and it was Myrmidon Press. And if you can look, you can see there's Manhunters on the back, Rift's Manhunter. And this was Cosmic Enforcers, is what later, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, became Phase World. It was kind of its own thing, but some of the art is like ripped out of everything. RK Post has some art in here. RK Post did a lot of work for Witchcraft, the role-playing game in Armageddon. In fact, I would bet $1 to a dozen of donuts that's RK Post's art right there. His art style was very distinct. He did a lot of art for Werewolf and Vampire back in the day. But yeah, some of this stuff is straight out of Palladium's books. That's the cybernetic section in Rifts. That's the same art. So this stuff was all the Myrmidon Press went away real quick. In fact, is that an RK Post? I got to put my cheaters on because I can't see. Yeah, that's RK Post right there. In fact, that same picture is in a Witchcraft book done by Eden Studios. So that's funny. Yeah, and that's a picture out of, I believe, Nightbane, or it might even be Witchcraft. That might be in there too. But there's yeah, so there was all these different races you could play, but this is kind of a cosmic superhero. So yeah, classic. Powered armor, aliens, all kinds of super soldier, everything. RK Post had a lot of art in here he owned all of his art, so he could use it in other books. RK Post was a very smart artist, but some of the art is in here is fantastic. I'm trying to find a good piece here for you guys. Oh yeah, this one is definitely in the Witchcraft book, because that's the image that covers demons. So that's RK Post art. So if you played Witchcraft, or you played Vampire the Masquerade or Werewolf, you know RK Post is art. So yeah, this was another one. It was classic. Some of this art is from the Rifter and everything, because like I said, they had a license to do all the stuff. So Cosmic Enforcers, another good one, another classic. So and it was a character sheet. Well, it wasn't too bad actually. They had different character sheets for different characters. So you had your Genesis Knight, which is like a cyber knight. You had a mage, cyber technologist, excuse me, gray man, hero, straight up hero, and mind lord. So yeah, so Cosmic Enforcers. I don't know. You guys ever play that one? You hear of it? Did you know about it? It's a blast for the past. I joined your Discord today, listening in on the Fabula Ultima review you did. Figured I'd sign on. Oh, thank you, Mark. Awesome. Yeah, Fabula Ultima. What a great game. They had a huge Kickstarter, did really well. In fact, I got to meet, is it Nicola? I can't remember he's Italian, the guy that designed the game. At Gamehole Con, which is a big convention in Madison, Wisconsin. And I try to go every year. I'll be going this year. But yeah, I got to meet him, and he's a super nice guy. I didn't think to bring my books because, I'm coming from Duluth, Minnesota, so that's quite a trek, and I can only bring so much stuff. I had other people in the car with me. This year, I think I'm going by myself. I'm not quite sure. I haven't heard from the other guy, so I'm hard to travel with, guys, because I'm old and I'm very set in my ways. And so when I'm ready to go, and if I'm driving, I'm going. If you're not ready, I'm going to leave you. So anyway, that was that. Here's a weird one, and this one, I bought this off a drive-through at the recommendation of another friend, and I didn't get into it. The art is okay. Some of it looks like it might be AI art. It's a couple years old though, so it may not be. It just might be bad art. I don't want to say it's AI art. Let's see. I'm looking for a time. May not have it in here. So some art was sourced from Adobe stock. So take that. Thanks for joining the Discord there, Mark. You know what? I should fire it up and put a link in the chat here. I think Bob Vecna actually joined as well. He's a grognard like me, though, so he's not a big fan of tech. Or no, I shouldn't say he's not a fan of technology. He's just not. He's not as savvy as us young whippersnappers are. There's no art on this, so I don't know when this was produced, or no date. I'm sorry. So anyway, they do give credit to all the artists in here, but Amazing Heroes, it didn't grab me. I just didn't like the style of art. It looked, even the cover looks meh. So, but I mean, it's an odd size book. It's not a normal size RPG. But I'm glad I have it. It's Martin Lloyd, Amazing Heroes from Amazing Tales. I don't even know what dice mechanics this used, to be honest. Like I said, I got it and I was like, huh, it just didn't spark me. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm glad I have it in my collection. But yeah, that's the character sheet. So that it's more of a verbose game instead of a, you know, I mean, I don't know if it even uses dices, dice. Uh, but some of the art's cool in here. I mean, I remember looking at it, but like, yeah, that is digital art at its worst. You know, but I mean, it's not horrible, but it's better than I could do. So it looks like this used a bunch of different dice: D6, D10, D8. So yeah, um, yeah. I mean, passable. Is it great? No. Is it horrible? No. Um, you saw that one on drive through. Something about it just seemed like a no to me. Yeah. I don't know the mechanics. Synth. Yeah, same here, Bob. I was not a Faster Rip fan. I had it. I don't have it in my collection now. I do have the PDFs. I have all of the PDFs. I have all of the DC PDFs as well. Faster Rip just didn't get it for me. I didn't like, you know, rolling dice and then looking in the chart, and just it wasn't a game for me. I didn't like it. But yeah, Amazing Heroes. I don't know. You're probably right there, Scent Weasel. It might be a pass, unless you're a collector like me. You know, I might have one or two books, just a few. Um, but speaking of DC heroes, uh, when uh, when Pulsar Games lost, I don't know if it was Pulsar. Was it West End? It wasn't West End Games. The company who had the DC Heroes license, they lost it, and Pulsar Games, I think, picked it up, but then something happened. They got so, but they had the mechanics. So if you're a fan of DC Heroes, which was, you know, it was in the vein of Faster Rip, um, Blood of Heroes #2. This is the second edition. This first edition was not very good. It wasn't, the book was falling apart and stuff like that. So yeah, Blood of Heroes. If you like the DC Heroes rules, and just file off, you know, and you've got all generic heroes, you're gonna like this. The art is hit or miss in here. It's very, you know, verbose text. Um, you know, oh, it's my son. Hey, buddy.
I'm going to bed.
You're gonna go to bed? Okay. Can you say hi, everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Say good night.
Good night.
I love you.
I love you.
All right. Make sure you wash your face because your face is dirty. Brush your teeth. I love you.
I brushed it already.
Well, make sure you wash your face. Got to do the dad thing, man. Yeah. So Blood of Heroes. I never got it to the table. I bought it just for nostalgia purposes. I do like the cover. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of got that Terminator ninjas, and you know, like I said, they lost the license, or they couldn't get the license. Mini. Yep, that's him. So yeah, it's in pretty good shape. A little bending on the covers, but yeah, Blood of Heroes was basically the DC Heroes game. You know, and you could use. I don't even know if it talks what dice, because I have the version of DC Heroes that had the D6s, and they were red and black, I think, and green. And one had Superman and Batman logos. One had Dark Side on it. And then, you know, you'd roll the dice looking for positives. The Dark Side was the negative, and then Batman and Superman were the positives. So it was like almost like fate, but doing that. I don't know what the mechanics are. I don't know what dice you use with this. I don't even remember. It's been so long. But look, I mean, this is what I didn't like. The action table. So Faster Rip had the same thing. So it was just like, ugh, I'm not gonna. Was it percentile? I think it was a percentile system. But it's the fact that I'm reading through here and I can't even see what the dice mechanic is. You know, that's, it doesn't even tell you what you need. I mean, it jumps right into character creation. But anyway, so yeah, That was Blood of Heroes #2. Lovely. God bless. Thank you, man. And we talked about it earlier, but here's the collector's edition. And I kicked myself for this. These are tabs that you used to buy at like Kinko's or Office Max. I think Kinko's, is there still Kinko's around? I don't even know. But anyway, you could buy these tabs for, textbooks and stuff. And I put them in, and then I realized I left them in for years. And I went to pull them out and started ripping the pages. Because this isn't glossy paper, it's very fibrous. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm with you, Seth. Yeah. And that's why Blood of Heroes just didn't grab me. I'm not saying it's a bad game because it was DC Heroes and it had a huge following, just like Faster Rip. I don't even remember the mechanic for Faster Rip. Was it 2d6? And you looked at it? I don't remember. Maybe Vecna knows because he was talking about it earlier. And Faster Rip was your stats, if I remember correctly. That's what FAS, they all stood for something. I don't remember. I was not as much as I was a comic book nerd, I was not into Marvel superheroes. I was really big into D&D back at that time, and Palladium Fantasy. I was a huge Palladium Fantasy. In fact, in my collection, I have pretty much every physical book that they made for Palladium Fantasy. I might be missing one or two. But that being said, my claim to fame here is this is number 209 out of 600. So I ordered this as soon as I saw it, and it's one of my babies. It's got a couple little scratches on it from wear and tear, but it's what year was this? And it's signed by Kevin Symbieta and all the guys. And I got a couple more. Alan Perez, Scott Johnson. Yeah. What year was this? June 2000. June is a 26-year-old book. So yeah, Heroes Unlimited. And then, we've been talking a little bit about Savage Worlds, so we have to. Yeah, Synth Weasel, it's in pretty good shape. Superpowers by Marvel, or Savage Worlds. Supers. Great book. Savage Worlds is a really good system, and I think the Fast, Fast, Fun, and Furious. What is it? Fast, Furious? Yeah, Fast, Furious, and Fun. $40 for this book, and then I think it's 40 or 50 for the core rule book. It's all you need. Now, if you want to add the horror book to make it a Supers horror game, you can. But with this, the action deck and the edges and hindrance cards that you can get, or the deck. I forgot it's not a fate deck. I forgot what they call it. It's the cards they use where you can throw in complications and or good things. I forgot what they call it. But yeah, solid superhero game. You can make almost any hero you want using the Savage Worlds system. And it was solid. I mean, power summaries. Cool art. It was well done in that standard Savage Worlds size. This is the latest version for Savage Worlds, the Suede Savage Worlds Adventure Engine Edition. So yeah, another good one. So have you guys played this? I've played it. I really like it. I'm a big fan. So yeah, check this one out if you haven't checked it out. Of course, you need a copy of Savage Worlds. So yeah, you do need the core book. But yeah, Savage Worlds really good. We already talked, and then last but not least, probably my all-time favorite superheroes game, only because it brings back nostalgia. The mechanics were good, and it is way out of production. And I have one of the source books. They came out with 2 source books for this. I've got one of them. I had both at one time, and somehow I lost one, but it's Guardians. I've seen this come and go on DriveThru RPG, and there is a Guardians on DriveThru RPG, but it is not this Guardians. It's a different game. So you got to check back and see every so often it pops up. I don't know why that is. This was from Darkchild Enterprises, was the original company. And then they went to Starchild. is, I think, what it was. Was it Guardians RPG by Gideon and James Perham? And James Perham had done some other stuff, but there's a little bit of a comic in here, and the art is pretty good. Adventure Decks. Yeah, Mark, thank you. Adventure Decks. I couldn't think of the name. This is a percentage-based game. This is the full game. This is all you need. So it just shows to go you. And this is 1988, by the way. It was Dark Tower Enterprises, and then it was originally Star Child Publications, a division of Dark Tower Entertainment. Lenox, Illinois, they were out of. Yeah, I believe this is 1988, if I remember correctly. So this is an early, and you could write to them. They've got an address in here where you can write to them and stuff. And they, is it 1988? And I love the cover. I thought the cover was pretty cool. So, yeah, I believe it's 1988. Okay, well, the dedication is from 1991, so I'm off. It was around 1991. So, yeah, this is an oldie, and it's in great shape. I mean, the glue is holding; it's not falling apart. And this is still playable to this day because it's a percentage-based system. Character creation was a little sticky because it bounced around a little bit, but still was really good. So, Guardians, man, if you can find a copy of this, I highly recommend you get it and you read it. Hey, man, you got Ronald Reagan as a superhero. What more do you want? I mean, we got a flashback to Ronald Reagan in the Vietnam War. They're beating up a tank, and we got Nazis. I mean, it's got a little comic in the beginning of it. It's black and white. It's well done. Some humor in here that was kind of silly, and here was the inspiration for Seismic. That was the art for Seismic. That's where I got the idea for Seismic. Was that guy right there? This piece right here. So yeah, I was, and the character sheet was horrible. That's the character. It was a percentage-based game, had a front and back, and it was just literally. It was not a good character sheet, but there was very little internet back then. Definitely not Google Drive or anything like that. So this is my between this and the Saga Marvel Superheroes are my two clear prize winners. Joys of my deck. I really enjoy these. So cover got a little dinged up there, but I've had this since it came out. This is one of my favorites, one of my first. So, guys, that's all my superhero games. It's not all of them because some of them I can't get to because they're in another room. This is just the ones that were in here that were easily accessible. And now I got to put all this crap back. So, I don't know, guys. Hopefully that was a blast from the past. And, maybe you learned about a couple games you didn't know about. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. We're just over an hour and 18 minutes. So I've had a blast. I want to thank everybody. Mark 866, Synth Weasel. You know what? If you're not on my Discord, let me put a link. If you like talking about RPGs and everything, we do a lot of that on my Discord. In fact, that's all it's about. We don't talk religion. We don't talk politics. I'm going to put a link that's only going to be good for today. There is a questionnaire you have to answer. But that's just to keep the spammers out. We get a lot of the starving artist, scams, So there is a link to my Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, feel free to join. And I do have a Patreon. It's $5 a month. Money goes back into the channel where I buy PDFs and books, and I upgrade my camera. I just upgraded my camera to a BenQ. It's actually pretty nice. I actually bought it because I also paint miniatures. I'm a aspiring miniature painter because I run a lot of Pathfinder and other fantasy games, and so I have a big collection of miniatures that I 3D print and paint because I love 3D printing. Yeah, if you join the Patreon, I send you some stickers. I have a Mr. Mean sticker. It's my logo. In fact, it should be up there in the upper right, and it's not. Yeah, and then every so often I get games that are sent to me by publishers and stuff for review. And what I do is I send them out to my Patreon members. So if you want a chance to get in the drawing and win some stuff, let me know and join the Patreon. And it notifies me obviously when you join, and then I'll put you in for a drawing. So, hey, Mark, thank you for the chat, buddy. And I think you said you joined the Discord. So thank you so much. Now I want to run a supers game, another supers game, and maybe use Savage Worlds supers. I think that would be a banger. But yeah, join the Discord. We're pretty active there. I'm on it all day long because I work. This is where I work. I work from home. Thank you, Mark. I had a blast talking with you too. Bob Vecna, stay young at heart, you old fart. And Synth Weasel, if you're not on the channel, please join if that's your thing. If it's not, it's cool. I try to do these on Sundays every couple of weeks. Sunday's just a good night to do it, but it's almost not getting close to 9 in my bedtime because I start work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it is getting late for me, and I'm getting tired. So thank you all. Bob Vecna, you're awesome. Salute to you, sir. Mark, Synth Weasel, everybody else who popped in, thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me. A new person popped in, but we're wrapping up. So say hi in the chat there. Feel free to join the Discord. They still make those. Yeah, I know. Aren't you retired, Bob? You dirty bastard. I'll never get to retire because I've got a 9-year-old. So I'm working till I die. But that's okay. It keeps me young. But I hope everyone has a great evening. Thank you for hanging out with me. Really, it means a lot. If you're not yet a meanie, please become a meanie. Like and subscribe. All that fun. I'll die at a desk. You and me both, Bob. All right, buddy. Everybody, thank you so much again. I had a blast going through this. Now I got to go put all the scrap back. As I always say in all my videos, peace and hair grease. And remember, be nice. Good night, everybody.